Namor the Sub-Mariner is not only the King of Atlantis, but in comic books is the first mutant of the Marvel family. First appearing in Motion Picture Funnies Weekly all the way back in 1939, Namor is set to make his cinematic debut in the upcoming MCU movie Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Over the years, Namor has fought against and alongside virtually every group of superheroes and villains in existence. The Fantastic Four, X-Men, Avengers, Brotherhood of Evil, you name them, Namor has sided with or stood up to them in some capacity. Join us as we rank 15 of the strongest heroes and villains Namor has defeated. Let's dive in. An ambitious soldier, Krang spent his entire life working his way up the rankings of the Atlantean military. Furthermore, he is responsible for retrieving Princess Fen, Namor's mother, in an attack that would see Namor's father perish. Upon returning to Atlantis, Fen would discover she was pregnant and 9 months later gave birth to the future heir to the throne. In an ironic twist, Namor would also grow to become Krang's greatest foe. Adventurer, warlord, and eventual usurper of the Atlantean throne, Krang is by no means a slouch. Upon being overthrown and exiled by Namor, Krang has vowed revenge on Atlantis and the royal family. However, from their very first encounter and ever since, it is undoubtedly clear that when it comes time to a fight, Namor has Krang's number. Handily being beaten one-on-one, Krang has also tried to gather armies and side with other supervillains in failed attempts at taking out Namor. The man without fear, blind attorney by day and superhuman vigilante by night, Dardevil is an exceptional combatant. His radioactively enhanced physiology and advanced martial arts skills strike fear in thugs and crime lords across Hell's Kitchen. Having gone toe-to-toe once before with Namor, Dardevil put up a fight but did not fare too well. After Namor turns up at law firm Nelson and Murdoch looking to sue the entire human race, Murdoch takes it upon himself as Dardevil to try and talk some sense into Namor. Not taking too kindly to this, Namor roughs up Dardevil and actually tries to walk away from the battle upon seemingly incapacitating him multiple times. Showing his true fighting spirit, Dardevil would refuse to quit. However, after electrocuting himself trying to damage Namor, it would be the then Prince of Atlantis who would walk away unscathed. The original hero for hire, Luke Cage, also known as Power Man, possesses a core set of abilities that render him nearly invulnerable. With nigh indestructible skin, accelerated healing, and superhuman strength and stamina, Luke Cage is a street-smart brawler who can hold his own. A self-taught expert in hand-to-hand combat, after garnering powers, Cage initially could only lift and toss up to 5 tons, but over time has increased that number to 25. Namor has gotten into it with Luke Cage on a few occasions, and these meetings did not bode well for the latter. When Namor and Cage squared off for the first time, Iron Man warned Cage not to swing on the Sub-Mariner. Needless to say, Cage didn't listen, and although he did land a solid punch, Namor was virtually unaffected, landing a huge blow himself which knocked Cage unconscious. Often friend and often foe of Namor, Jim Hammond is not only the very first Marvel superhero, but also holds the moniker of the original Human Torch. Well before Johnny Storm and for over 70 years, sentient android Jim Hammond has been blazing a trail inside of Marvel Comics. Created by scientist Phineas T. Horton, who used his own cells to synthesize with the android, the original Human Torch has the mental ability to control ambient heat energy and transform his body into fiery plasma when exposed to oxygen. Flying, shooting fireballs, and throwing ablaze punches are all within OG Human Torch's wheelhouse. Fighting each other on numerous occasions, with Namor usually coming out on top, Marvel's first hero and first mutant would both become the first true crossover comic book rivalry. With their first encounter ending by Namor trapping the Human Torch inside of an airtight container, the two would eventually team up once before Namor turned his back and attacked New York again. Finally, after a change of heart from Namor, the two agreed to not fight anymore provided they never run into each other. Namor and Torch would ultimately join forces alongside Captain America and form the superhero team, the Invaders. Black Panther is one of Earth's mightiest heroes and has garnered resentment for Namor over the years. Mystically enhanced by the heart-shaped herb and wearing a vibranium suit, T'Challa is also accustomed to what is known as Black Panther knowledge, giving him the ability to harness the strength, knowledge, and experiences of every previous Black Panther. In their first encounter, Namor and T'Challa fought to a stalemate. However, after an explosion hurled them into the ocean, Namor not only subdued T'Challa, but also rescued the Hulk, showing his true desire for peace. After the Atlanteans fired a missile at Wakanda, which would destroy it entirely, T'Challa repented to Namor, who then heroically diverted the missile and saved Wakanda. Although it never came to fisticuffs as two leaders of differing nations, surrendering counts as a loss. Kl'rt, known better as the Super Skrull, is precisely that. An outcast to most, some Skrulls view Kl'rt as a hero to their race, and he remains the most feared warrior in the Skrull Empire. With all Skrulls possessing enhanced strength, speed, and endurance and so on, especially in comparison to humans, Kl'rt's abilities surpass that of any average Skrull. Furthermore, all Skrull possess the ability to shapeshift, which allows a Super Skrull to consistently mimic and amplify the powers of the entire Fantastic Four. This means he's able to fly, ignite, and stretch his body, turn invisible, or turn to stone if he so desires. In their first encounter, Super Skrull posed as the Iron Fist and kidnapped Namor's cousin, Namorita. Namor would expose, confront, and smack Super Skrull around and destroy his doomsday machinery, causing Super Skrull to quickly flee the battle. During another encounter years later, Super Skrull would go toe-to-toe with Namor again, who was able to trick and dispatch Super Skrull a second time. However, this time, Namor had help from the Illuminati. The second attorney and first Hulk on our list, Jennifer Walters, garnered her powers after a blood transfusion with her cousin Bruce Banner. Becoming the sensational She-Hulk, Jen would realize the abilities and potential of her male relative counterpart. Unbridled strength, speed, and durability, regenerative healing, and near indestructible green skin, She-Hulk is also highly intelligent and an expert combatant. Usually finding themselves friend more than foe, Namor and She-Hulk's encounters are often flirtatious in nature. She-Hulk totally digs Namor's speedo and rockin' bod, while he is enamored by her incredible endurance. Squaring off once before, the two had somewhat of a comedic and romantic tussle, which ended in a stalemate. It was implied, however, that Namor was holding back quite a bit, and at any point, if he made the fight aquatic, he could end it in an instant. Furthermore, during Avengers vs. X-Men, Namor had used Luke Cage like a baseball bat and one-shotted She-Hulk through the air, dispatching them both. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross spent years hunting the Hulk before teaming up with the villainous MODOK in a successful effort to turn himself into the monstrous Red Hulk. Siphoning energy from the Hulk's body, Thunderbolt Ross possesses many of the same abilities as Hulk. Furthermore, Red Hulk constantly emits gamma radiation and is able to absorb energy, creating intense levels of heat. Initially, teaming up in attempts to foil a plot to vaporize Earth's oceans, Namor feels Red Hulk has betrayed him and is aiding in the pollution of the water. Namor easily handles Red Hulk, especially with an underwater advantage. In a more recent altercation, after becoming host to the Phoenix Force, Namor snaps Red Hulk's arm with ease, subduing him quickly. Infamous and indestructible, Bruce Banner would be exposed to gamma radiation, rendering himself the Incredible Hulk. As previously mentioned in our last two entries, Hulks of course possess unmatched super strength, speed, endurance, and infallible green skin, for the most part. Banner being the alpha of all Hulks, his powers have reached what have been referred to as divine and godlike amongst his peers. Fueled by rage, which renders him virtually immortal, it should be noted having one of the smartest minds in the known universe at the helm of the monster only adds to his formidability. Although Banner and Namor have been allies on many occasions, with the latter showing an affinity for the former, in his early years, Hulk was recognized as more of an anti-hero. Because of this, the two would inevitably join forces before doing battle. Most notably, when an unconscious Banner was discovered by Lady Dorma and brought to Atlantis, Namor and Dorma got into a minor altercation themselves. Upon seeing this, Banner became enraged and transformed into the Hulk. Attacking Namor, the Sub-Mariner eventually got the upper hand and punched Hulk so hard that he flew out of the ocean, effectively powering him back down as well. Barbarian warlord and part of the Skarka tribe, Attuma was exiled from Atlantis long ago. Learning of an ancient Atlantean prophecy claiming that a member of Attuma's tribe would take the royal throne by force, Attuma has constantly attempted to conquer Atlantis ever since. Initially, Attuma had only possessed the power of a fierce Atlantean warrior, which is nothing to shake a fist at. However, after being resurrected by Dr. Doom, Attuma was scientifically and mystically enhanced, giving him super strength and flight, which rivals Namor's. These enhancements also permit Attuma to survive and retain his power on land. Classic enemy of Namor, these two have battled over the crown of Atlantis countless times, and will probably clash countless more. Foes to the point of fighting on multiple occasions, friends to the point of having their own comic book series together, Iron Man and Namor are also founding members of the secret think tank group the Illuminati. Iron Man is of course one of the most brilliant inventors and engineers in the universe. Creator of the Iron Man suit, he has proven a worthy competitor in countless battles throughout Marvel history, whether on Earth or in space. Although rather evenly matched over the years, in a more recent encounter, Namor was able to nearly vanquish Iron Man and did so with ease. When Hulk went on another uncontrollable rampage destroying a city, the Illuminati and primarily Stark voted to exile Bruce Banner from Earth. With Namor's aforementioned affinity toward Hulk, he was incensed and gave Iron Man hands before hurling him into the ocean. Doctor Strange would step in and break the two up, but Namor was within seconds of ending Iron Man for good. Magneto is one of the most iconic supervillains in the history of Marvel Comics. The master of magnetism, Magneto possesses the uncanny ability of manipulating all metals and all energies across the electromagnetic spectrum. Magneto is also a great leader, creating and heading the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which Namor would briefly join. Upon discovering the mutant nature of Namor, Magneto and Professor X both tried to recruit the Sub-Mariner. At first, siding with the Brotherhood, Namor became tired and annoyed of Magneto's arrogance and abusive tendencies. After announcing his departure from the group, Magneto would use a giant magnetic machine to try and subdue Namor. Using his might and breaking free of the magnetism, Namor destroyed the machine in the process. Realizing Namor's power, Magneto would flee the battle, avoiding any further conflict. Because of this, Namor would grow to resent surface dwellers even further and return to Atlantis. The Silver Surfer, Herald of Galactus, is one of the noblest and most tormented entities in the Marvel Universe. Endowed with the power cosmic, Silver Surfer can manipulate matter and absorb energy, among many other abilities. One of Namor's closest allies, Silver Surfer would join him in forming the Defenders, accompanied by Doctor Strange and the Hulk. Before this supergroup would connect, however, Namor and Silver Surfer had scrapped once before. Discovering a machine that can control the Earth's weather, Namor heroically decides to destroy it and seeks to enlist Silver Surfer for help. To get his attention and avoid a head-on collision, Namor yanks the Surfer into the water, and the two do battle to a standstill. With Namor at a clear advantage, and after landing a good few blows, he convinces the Surfer of his mission, and the two join forces for the first time. Dr. Victor Von Doom, politician and sometimes ruler of Latveria, is a staple on anyone's Mount Rushmore of supervillains. Involved in basically every major event in Marvel Comics history, he has fought and defeated a plethora of powerful heroes and villains himself. With his knowledge and capabilities in both sciences and magic unrivaled by anyone in the universe, except for Reed Richards and Doctor Strange respectively, Dr. Doom amalgamates the two practices better than anyone. His fusion of mysticism and technology is truly unmatched. Fighting alongside Namor for decades, Doom would not hesitate to deceive the Sub-Mariner if he deems the situation fit. At one point, when Namor had lost his memory, Doom sought out his old comrade for help. Consistent with his character, Namor lashes out and attacks Doom, beating him up badly. Although Doom was holding back in hopes that Namor would come to his senses, he does get assaulted to the point that he has to unleash a vicious energy attack on Namor to subdue him. It was fought to a stalemate, however, Doom got knocked around pretty good. Earth 1610, better known as the Ultimate Universe, offers us a different look at familiar Marvel heroes and villains. The Ultimate Fantastic Four are no different, retaining their primary qualities, abilities, and relationships for the most part. Reed Richards is still our ever-expanding genius. Sue Storm remains invisible, Johnny Storm can still engulf his body in flames, and Ben Grimm is, well, the Thing. One major difference between our primary universe and the Ultimate iteration would be the level of power garnered by Ultimate ultimate Namor. Regarded as one of the strongest beings on the planet, Namor appears to be near invincible, able to withstand the most brutal attacks from this world's Fantastic Four. Rather than a prince or king, Namor was a prisoner locked away for thousands of years, surviving the destruction of Atlantis. When the Fantastic Four freed him, they understood the magnitude of his powers and tried to imprison him once more. Breaking free, Namor was able to defeat the entire Fantastic Four, including Human Torch's Nova-level heat. After threatening to drop a portion of the ocean over New York, Namor agreed to walk away, provided Susan Storm gave him a kiss, and meant it. After not only defeating them in combat, Namor humiliated the Ultimate Fantastic Four and flew off into the sunset. How did you like our rankings? Did we forget anybody Namor has defeated? Would you swap any entries around? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more crustacean comic content.